Angel Reese. Girl, you're my angel. You're my darling. Folks.
Angel Reese just got hit with the one stat she can't flex on: TV ratings. While Caitlin Clark was shattering viewership records like a seasoned superstar, Angel's preseason debut fell flat.
So I think it's time to finally, end the argument. End the argument that there is any sort of other needle mover that is even remotely close to Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. And again, the reason why we've got Hailey Van Lith up is because it was Hailey Van Lith's return as well as Angel Reese's return. Angel was not the only person. They had two players returning. However, right now in Carver, there are no tickets left for under $200.
And when those humiliating numbers dropped, Reese absolutely melted down. We're talking cryptic posts, side-eye emojis, and a wave of deflection that had her blaming everyone: the networks, the time slot.
Twitter fingers turned to can't even show up and buy ticket fingers. Angel Reese, going home to her alma mater, LSU, plays against the Brazilian national team in front of 6,300.
Even the weather. But here's the thing: the numbers don't lie. Caitlin Clark's exhibition game pulled in over 1.3 million viewers. Angel barely made a dent. Less than a rerun of Storage Wars. Less than a local chess tournament. That's not a rivalry, that's a wipeout. And now fans are turning. Analysts are laughing. And Reese, she's lashing out. She's always said people watch because of her.
I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize.
But when it really counted, America tuned her out.
You know what I love watching? I love watching her highlights of missing shots. She's got to be the worst shooter you've met in your life.
And turned up for Caitlin Clark instead. So what happened? Why did the self-proclaimed queen of the WNBA crash this hard? And what does her meltdown really say about the pressure she's facing off the court?
For instance, before a game or after a game or during practice, for real, you rarely ever hear from Angel Reese. And my question is why? Why don't you like to talk basketball, Angel? Is it because you miss so many layups, you're so bad?
Because if this keeps up, Angel Reese won't just lose the ratings war, she might lose the entire narrative. Let's start with the stakes. This wasn't just a preseason game. This was supposed to be Angel Reese's moment.
Be here with you guys today, Angel Reese. Girl, you're my angel. You're my darling. Folks, the Chicago Sky Game 1 of the preseason was underway last night. Angel Reese looked pretty good, but we're going to get into that momentarily. On the negative side, Angel Reese fans, LSU fans, all of you who tell us, oh my God, what a big superstar.
The hype was real. Social media was buzzing. Major outlets ran with headlines calling her the face of the WNBA's future. Her debut with the Chicago Sky against Brazil was hyped like a Super Bowl. Trailers, teasers, even press releases bragging about her arrival. But when the game aired, crickets. The numbers were brutal. Barely anyone watched. ESPN didn't even bother publishing viewership data, and insiders say the figures were so low, they didn't want them public. Some reports even claim the game pulled less than 100,000 live viewers nationwide. Meanwhile, over in Indiana, Caitlin Clark had her own exhibition against Brazil. But it wasn't even close. Over 1.3 million tuned in. That's a 13% jump over the league's regular season average.
But for Caitlin Clark to be as popular as she is, it's just kind of extraordinary. It's cut through the noise to an extent that I've never seen anything in women's college basketball.
But also, I think that people understandably have a fascination with extreme excellence. I've never watched women's college basketball before. I might watch Caitlin Clark, though. Extreme excellence has its own appeal.
Let that sink in. Clark's exhibition game outperformed most of the WNBA playoffs. It even beat Game 1 of the 2023 finals. And Angel, she got outdrawn by YouTube unboxing videos.
We got to talk about Angel Reese missing out on these press conferences all the time. What is this really about? Here's a girl, right, who loves to be in everybody's face, loves to be on front center, right? Always on TikTok, always on Instagram, always on YouTube with her podcast, but never during press conferences before a game or after a game or during practice for real. You rarely ever hear from Angel Reese. And my question is why? Why don't you like to talk basketball, Angel? Is it because you miss so many layups, you're so bad at basketball for real?
Therefore, it wasn't just a loss, it was a humiliation. And Reese didn't take it quietly. She started firing off passive-aggressive posts on Instagram. She threw shade in interviews. She even hinted that the low numbers were part of a bigger conspiracy. Reese blamed ESPN for poor promotion. She called out the WNBA for scheduling. She even suggested that people were intentionally setting her up to fail. It was a total meltdown, but fans weren't buying it.
On the fans showing up in attendance at your games, that all has something to do with it. You're not relatable. You're not likable. People only hear from you when you showing half off, your body, or you're showing off what you're wearing, right? Trying to make a fashion statement. You're showing off your new weave. It's so unbelievable. You're showing off your new lashes, right? But you don't talk basketball.
Because while Angel Reese was making excuses, Caitlin Clark was making history. She didn't lash out. She didn't blame anyone. She just played her game. And the entire sports world watched. From NBA stars to late-night talk show hosts, Clark had everyone's attention. Reese, on the other hand, had to watch as her rival turned an exhibition into a cultural event. The optics were devastating, especially for someone who built her brand on being watched. This is the same Angel Reese who told the media that she's the reason people are tuning in, the one who said she's the most impactful player in women's basketball.
Wait a minute, correct me if I'm wrong here. I thought Angel Reese was responsible for elevating the WNBA dump. I thought Angel Reese was responsible for taking the dump and turning it into an unmonetizable turd. Now, to her credit, it is a nicely polished turd. It almost looks appealing. Almost. Of course, it's still not appealing enough to generate profit, but I guess the WNBA is taking baby steps. I mean, what's one more year of multi-million-dollar losses? I thought Angel Reese was the star of stars, the icon of icons. That's what the mainstream media keeps telling me. Headline at Forbes from last month. How Angel Reese and Asia Wilson are leading the WNBA's growth.
And yet, when the cameras were rolling, the crowd didn't show. It wasn't just a bad look, it was a brutal reality check. Because the truth is, fans don't care about Instagram follower counts or endorsement deals. They care about what happens on the court. And right now, Caitlin Clark is delivering something real. She's not just a highlight machine. She's appointment viewing.
I just couldn't. So this is what an actual crowd looks like. Chloe Peterson put this up. That is a sold-out arena. 14,998 people. That's all it could hold. They all showed up.
Reese, for all her flash, still hasn't proven she can match that level of impact. And this collapse matters, because both women are being positioned as the future of the league. The media wants a rivalry. The WNBA wants a ratings boost. But if one of them can't bring viewers, that rivalry falls apart fast. Therefore, Angel Reese's reaction wasn't just emotional, it was desperate. She knows what this means. She knows how fast public opinion can turn, and she knows that if this narrative sticks, she could go from breakout star to media liability in just a few months. But here's where things get even messier. Her fans doubled down.
Talk about how much they're fans of Angel Reese, but they won't actually put in effort to show how much they're fans of Angel Reese. They won't put their money where their mouth is, a running theme with the...
How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Now, you're not going to hear this from the mainstream media who continues to pretend that the Bayou Barbie is beloved. You're not going to hear this from the media who continues to pretend that Angel Reese is a huge star. The Bayou Barbie might be beloved by some. Angel Reese might even be a huge star. But like I have been telling you guys for 2 years, there's one thing that Angel Reese is not. Angel Reese is not a draw.
They flooded social media with defenses. They accused the networks of sabotage. They claimed Clark was being handed the spotlight. But none of that changes the scoreboard. You can't meme your way out of a ratings flop because in the WNBA, numbers are the story.
LSU fans, where y'all at? Angel Reese fans, where y'all at? Chicago Sky fans, where y'all at? I know people from Florida flying into Iowa to watch Caitlin Clark go up against the Brazilian national team. I know people from California flying in to Iowa to watch Caitlin Clark go up against the Brazilian national team. I wouldn't be surprised if people from Europe, South America, Africa, China are flying just to watch Caitlin Clark return to Iowa to take on the Brazilian national team. But LSU, Angel Reese, and all of those bums can't dish up a couple dollars to watch Angel Reese play. And it's pathetic because Angel Reese had a damn good game. Damn good game. Showed off her new Reebok shoes, looking pretty good. Picked up right where she left off, 15 points, 10 rebounds, 4 for 7. The double-double is back.
And when Angel Reese finally got her big chance, the country looked away. So where does Angel Reese go from here? That's the question echoing across the league. And honestly, no one has a clear answer because the bigger the stage gets, the more obvious the gap becomes. Not in skill, not in talent, but in draw.
According to Forbes, Angel Reese is arguably the biggest star in the WNBA because she has more social media followers than everyone else. But like I say all the time, popularity on social media, that does not equate to the main.
Caitlin Clark isn't just performing. She's pulling in crowds like a rock star. Preseason arenas are packed. Merch is selling out. Her name trends on social media every single game day. And here's the kicker, she doesn't need to say a word. Meanwhile, Angel Reese has built a brand that needs noise to survive. She's always been loud, always been bold, always leaned into the spotlight. But when the spotlight turned on her and the audience disappeared, everything cracked.
I've tried to tell you guys, you heard me say it on this channel. A lot of Angel Reese fans are not basketball fans, and they are proving it. They proved it last night without a shadow of a doubt. That was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen. You might be like, well, Rhodes, what was so embarrassing?
Therefore, this meltdown wasn't just about the numbers. It was about the fear behind them. The fear that maybe the narrative is slipping. That maybe the crown she claimed is already being handed to someone else. And she's not wrong to be concerned, because fans aren't waiting. The media isn't waiting. And the league definitely isn't waiting.
They're getting that attention now. And I told you before that they'll have it sort of be like a reality TV. And that's what they're starting to give us. And we're paying attention. We're all tuned in. They're getting more attention than they've ever gotten before. And a part of it is Angel Reese. We cannot deny that. She was a part of it. Is she the part of it? No, that's Caitlin. Caitlin is the person who's the main factor. She's the top of the show. She's what everybody came to see.
Right now, Caitlin Clark is the center of gravity, the engine, the headline. Whether that's fair or not doesn't matter. That's reality. And the longer Reese stays focused on everything except basketball, the harder it's going to be to reclaim the story. But there's still a path forward.
This season, can we know how you felt about your play out there? Your 2 for 8? Can we know how you feel about your new role, supposedly being a point forward? Ain't no damn point forward. A point forward is a person that actually creates shots for others, easy buckets for others. That's what a point guard. Caitlin Clark don't just pass the ball down to Leah Boston and she turn around and make a layup and get an assist. She don't just get those kind of assists where she really didn't have nothing to do with getting Camila Cardoso or one of her players an easy basket. She not getting nobody no easy baskets. It's all off the execution of the play. Whether somebody cut back door and she make a good pass. She can make good passes, but a point forward is somebody who actually orchestrates the offense.
Angel Reese has the tools. She's strong. She's gritty. She plays with edge. But that edge has to come through on the court, not just in press conferences or Instagram stories. If she wants to prove she's more than hype, now is the moment. And that starts with tuning out the distractions and showing up in the next game like the world is watching, even if the ratings don't say so. Because here's the truth the media won't say out loud. This isn't just a Caitlin versus Angel story. It's a WNBA survival story. The league is riding a wave of attention it hasn't seen in decades. If this rookie class flops in the ratings, if stars like Reese can't deliver viewership, that wave crashes fast. So it's not just her reputation on the line, it's the league's momentum too. Therefore, this has to be the wake-up call, the pivot point, the moment when Angel Reese stops chasing the crown and earns it instead. Not through hype, not through talk, through real, undeniable, can't-look-away performances, because if not, the numbers will only get worse, the comparisons will get louder, and Caitlin Clark will keep climbing while Reese risks being left behind in her own story. And that's the part that stings the most. Not because Reese isn't good enough, but because she is. But greatness in this era isn't just about how you play, it's about what people see. And right now, what they see is one star rising and the other stuck defending shadows. Which brings us to the final twist. Some say the ratings don't matter, that preseason is meaningless. But if that's true, why did Caitlin's numbers shake the entire sports world? Why did Angel's flop cause this much noise? Because deep down, everyone knows ratings are reality. They reveal what fans care about, who's being followed, who's changing the game. And that's why Angel Reese's meltdown matters. Not because she lost one battle, but because the world just showed her what it's really watching.
Like I said after last game, I'm an overrated bum, and only reason I'm even relevant is because of Caitlin Clark. I might play the victim card again after tonight because I shat all over the court once again, and I had to be out there with 5 minutes left because I couldn't finish the game with 0 points or else Twitter would have a field day with me, so I can't let anyone see me go scoreless.
Angel Reese didn't just have a bad game. She made WNBA history, for all the wrong reasons. 0 field goals, 5 turnovers, national TV.
Yikes. Mamma mia. 2 points, 12 rebounds, 3 steals. 0 for 8 from the field. 33% from the free throw line. Angel Reese, point forward. 5 turnovers, 1 assist, point forward. 1 assist, 5 turnovers, Angel Reese, point forward, yet again.
And while the Chicago sky crumbled, Caitlin Clark was quietly leading a revolution in Indiana.
Handoff, Clark. Skip pass left wing, Cunningham tees it up, and the 3 is good!
This is the moment everything changed. Angel Reese came into this season with the spotlight blazing. Endorsements, expectations, millions of fans watching every move. But when it mattered most, she vanished.
Girl, you're my angel. You're my darling angel. Angel Reese back in action against the New York Liberty. And what did she do last year? When it came to the double-doubles, she broke records. Angel Reese picking up right where she left off, breaking more WNBA records, but unfortunately for Sky fans, it came in the form of a loss, 99-74. The Chicago Sky.
No field goals, 0, not a single shot made. She played 27 minutes and didn't hit one basket. And this wasn't just a bad shooting night, it was a breakdown. One possession went so viral it had the internet asking, "Is this even real?" Reese grabbed her own rebound not once, not twice, but 4 times in a row and missed every single putback.
Let's get to this. This is the most again, as the kids say, diabolical sequence. This is the nastiest work ever put in. I mean, porn stars don't put in this kind of nasty work.
Cardoso with the miss. Angel Reese picks it up, which she's good at. Getting another offensive rebound. She says, give me that. How about another? Persistence trying to pay off. Jones gets a piece. Angel Reese won't give up. Jones with another block.
Oh, God. At least she finally passed the ball out. Oh, my God.
Wide open, no defenders in sight, just her and the rim. And she still couldn't convert. And this wasn't a one-time thing. Reese shot 0 for 8 from the field, gave up 5 turnovers, and got hit with a technical foul for arguing with refs. Add it all up, and you get one of the worst individual performances in WNBA history.
Well, it may be time for Angel Reese to consider taking up a different game. Tiddlywinks, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what game she wants to possibly take up. I know one thing, she can't wait for the Unrivaled season to start at this point.
Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky weren't just losing, they were getting embarrassed. After being crushed by Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever just days earlier, they followed it up by getting destroyed again, this time by the New York Liberty.
Exhausted, sitting here watching that. I am exhausted right now.
I think Angel and Jonquel are both exhausted as well.
The Sky put up 9 points in the second quarter. 9. That's fewer points than fingers on your hands.
The Chicago Sky, you're seeing that right. 9 points in the second quarter. 9 points. Folks, if a team scores less points than you have fingers, that's bad. That's bad. If a team scores less points than the amount of fingers you have, that is a serious issue.
Over 2 games, Chicago was outscored by a combined 60 points, the worst start to a season in WNBA history.
But this year, we're not just going to roll over and let you get your double-doubles. And the New York Liberty, shout out to them. When Chicago Sky came to town, New York Liberty beat them down.
Fans were calling it a basketball funeral. Even casual sports fans who never watched the WNBA were posting memes and clips of Reese's missed layups. And when you looked at Reese's body language, it told the whole story. Slumped shoulders, blank stares, constant frustration. Even her own teammates looked confused.
I'm going to point something out. Is the weight of the burden of what did not transpire this past weekend also coming down on her? Because, again, here we are, how many days later? This is Friday, that was Saturday. 6 days later, not a lick of proof of any kind of racial allegations, proof, I mean, nothing.
At one point, you could hear a fan yell, "Pass the ball!"
Again? Bro, no way, bro. No way! Pass the ball!
While Reese went up for another wild shot under the rim. And just feet away, Courtney Vandersloot, one of the most respected veterans in the league, standing wide open, hands raised, watching helplessly as Reese missed again. It didn't matter that she grabbed 12 rebounds. Nobody remembered that. When you go 0 for 8 in a professional game and score just 2 points, the rest becomes irrelevant. And yet, as Chicago spiraled into chaos,
something, as the kids would say, diabolical was taking place last night. And it was Angel Reese setting women's basketball back 30,000 years at this point. I mean, truly. I mean, I would say back to the age of T-Rex, but she does get rebounds, so she can actually rebound the ball. What she cannot do is shoot the ball at all.
Something entirely different was happening in Indiana. Caitlin Clark, the player who gets booed in away arenas and praised like a superstar in home games, was doing what stars are supposed to do, leading her team.
Caitlin, left lane, step back jumper, and it swishes in. Eyes down the floor. Snaps it past Cunningham, underneath the hoop. Reverse layup, left to right is good. Oh my! That ends the first half. Fever 37, Dream 34.
After getting pushed around by Atlanta just 2 days earlier.
Signature Caitlin Clark shot. She will launch. Oh, yes! Caitlin Clark's fifth three on the night. Our Indiana Members Credit Union winning combination is Boston to Clark. We've seen her hit some impressive shots over her short time in Indiana, Debbie. That is right up there with them.
They're down 11 to start the fourth quarter and 2.
Clark and the Fever came back with a statement win. And while Clark didn't drop a triple-double this time, she didn't need to. She controlled the game, slowed down the pace, got her teammates involved, and made sure everyone stuck to the plan. That's the difference. That's the line between chaos and leadership. One rookie is drowning, the other is learning how to swim with sharks. When the pressure rises, some players shrink, others evolve. Caitlin Clark is evolving. She's not just surviving in the WNBA. She's learning, adapting, adjusting, and most importantly, she's winning.
On the bounce, 3 seconds to go in the half. Caitlin, left wing, off balance three. Got it! Caitlin connects. A screen. Clark, long three. Buries it.
She starts 2025 with a triple-double.
Against the Dream, Clark didn't try to play hero ball, she trusted her teammates. Players like Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham exploded off the bench, while Aliyah Boston controlled the paint. This wasn't just a one-woman show, it was a team responding to adversity, and doing it fast. That's what real contenders do.
Clark found a lane and she'll take it. Ryan Howard, Caitlin Clark finding a way to miss.
Excellent.
Shifty getting into the paint.
Pedal, and she's stayed in it mentally right here. She does a little hezzy, spin move, gets Howard.
Now, Atlanta has 3 players in the starting lineup with 3 or more fouls. BG on the bench right now is 5, as Aliyah Boston's strong move gets the bucket.
The Fever played with chemistry, energy, and purpose. The kind of intangibles Chicago is clearly missing. Because while Clark is surrounded by players finding their roles and stepping up, Reese looks isolated, confused, pressured, alone. And it's starting to show. Social media didn't just turn on Angel Reese, it devoured her.
Okay, so now we've got a person standing in a room with a spotlight on them every time they play basketball. And the basketball's not good on top of it. It wasn't good beforehand, but guys, 26 minutes. Almost 20, let's just call it 27 minutes. When you're at 26:56, we're calling it 27 minutes. 0 from 8 for the field. 8 offensive rebounds. Don't worry, we'll get to the video.
Clip after clip of missed layups, rebounds with no finish, meme after meme of her going 0 for everything. The fans weren't just frustrated, they were stunned. The reactions weren't quiet either.
Yikes. Look at this. Oh my God. This is a sequence of events over 20 seconds. It's ugly. Angel Reese, offensive rebound. Jonquel Jones blocks Angel Reese. Offensive rebound. Jonquel Jones blocks Angel. 1 foot layup. 1 foot layup. Offensive rebound, misses layup. Offensive rebound, misses layup. Offensive rebound. Holy hell.
One user wrote, "She grabs rebounds like a beast and shoots like she's never played before." Another said, "This isn't a rookie slump. This is a basketball crisis." And perhaps the most brutal comment of all, Caitlin Clark gets hate for being too good. Angel Reese gets love for being on the court. That's the reality we're in now. One rookie is rewriting the story of women's basketball. The other is stuck in a viral nightmare she can't escape. But here's the question no one wants to ask. What if Angel Reese doesn't bounce back? What if this isn't just a bad week? What if the pressure, the spotlight, the expectation? What if it's all too much, too fast? because right now, every time she takes the floor, it's not just a game anymore. It's a test. And the next time she fails, it might not just cost her a win. It might cost her everything.